Welcome back to it. We are up and alert, although we are now talking about International Sleep Day. Welcome back to the Now Morning Show. I am Will here, and joining me is the Trinidad and Tobago official delegate for World Sleep Day, Mr. Gregory Arno. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning. Happy World Sleep Day.
Well, I don't know how happy it is because we're not on a big, nice plush bed. We're not sleeping. We are up. So tell me then, why we celebrate World Sleep Day?
Why? Because it's such a huge importance to understand that we all need to sleep. And without sleep, we can't really function. And this year's theme, as we're looking at sleep and how it affects our mental health, we understand without sound sleep, we're obviously not going to feel good. You know, we're not going to have the ability to be able to function from a day-to-day, and it affects our health and our quality of life.
Right. We can definitely attest to that. When we don't sleep, we're groggy, we're grouchy. But how much sleep is enough?
Well, everyone's a little different. You know, I grew up with a family where we're hustlers. You know, my grandmother and my father, you know, working 2 or 3 jobs. So they slept like 5 hours at max, you know, and I know many people live like that here in the Caribbean because they have to wake up early to get to work and different things. But typically, you know, 7 to 9 hours is what an adult typically needs to be able to go through the natural architecture of sleep to ensure that, once again, their mind is detoxed, their muscles have been relaxed and restored, and they're ready to take on their day.
So we're talking both mental and physical contributions to our body and function. All right. We'll work on that because, like you said, lifestyle is a big part of why we don't get enough sleep sometimes. But then how do you identify whether or not you have things like sleep deprivation or even defects?
Well, a good way to identify whether or not you're suffering from a sleep deficiency or a sleep disorder is if you're tired all the time. I mean, if you went to sleep and you're waking up and you still feel like I need a few more hours, most likely you do. At the same time, if you're dozing off throughout the day, maybe while driving, having issues remembering, you know, just your cognitive awareness, your reflexes, especially your moods, are definitely affected by how well you sleep. But if you have a partner that's snoring, tossing and turning all night, maybe going to the restroom quite frequently, most often those are conditions that are somewhat connected to sleep apnea, a condition that affects your breathing and obviously could affect your overall health and life.
Right, because lack of oxygen and all that other stuff, that's a simple one. But when we talk disorders, that usually means that there needs to be some sort of diagnosis or some sort of conversation with a healthcare professional. So you're saying when we have these little clues, we might want to discuss it with a regular physician or specialist? Without
a doubt, yeah. You can talk to your family physician and obviously be referred to a sleep specialist. We carry a number of physicians available to you through telemedicine, and so that they can connect to you from anywhere in the world, and they are boarded by the American Academy of Sleep Medicine, training and understanding about the 80+ different types of sleeping disorders like insomnia. 80+. I mean, they're finding out more each day, you know. So if you're having insomnia, sleep apnea, you're grinding your teeth, having bruxism or restless leg syndrome, or, you know, circadian rhythm disorder, there's so many different
I'm beginning to wonder how many of those I have. I didn't think of the grinding of your jaw being part of your sleep disorder or anything of the sort, actually. I just thought it's something we do. I actually do that, so we'll talk more after the show. But then if we're talking about there being such a plethora of possible disorders, statistically speaking, do we have an idea of how many people suffer from these?
Well, worldwide, about 1 billion+ people suffer from a sleeping disorder like sleep apnea. In Trinidad, and I know it's kind of scary to think about.
That's very dire.
You know, in the population that we have here, typically more than 300,000 people here probably suffer from the same condition of sleep apnea because of its direct connection to different NCDs such as hypertension, obesity, cardiovascular disease, you know, anxiety, depression, to name a few of them.
So when we are talking about the current climate of things, one of the conditions, or rather one of the symptoms of COVID-19 is tiredness, is fatigue. Do we then distinguish that? Has that impacted any sort of sleeping disorder alerts in any way?
Well, sleep apnea has been linked to almost an 8 times more increased risk of getting COVID. With not getting enough oxygen for prolonged periods of time during sleep, you're going to weaken your immune system and make you more susceptible, once again, at risk to getting sick and being infected. So the mortality risk is greater, the hospitalization risk is higher, because if you're not breathing already without having COVID, what do you think happens when you do go to sleep that night and you're unaware of what's going on? It's actually going to exacerbate the situation.
Oh boy. So I'm glad we're getting this information, but now my mind is going a million times faster because the next step is to get tested. How do we do that? Who do we go to?
Well, that's simple. ISD Health Solutions, founded here in Trinidad and Tobago, allows us to have the ability to get screened and to schedule a free consultation just by visiting our website or Facebook page, isdhealthsolutions.com. Fill out a form, schedule a consultation when it's convenient for you. We'll have one of our sleep care professionals review those symptoms with you for yourself or your loved one, and then work with all of the different health insurance providers here to ensure that you can obviously use this benefits to take care of your potential health risk and start the process of getting a better understanding of your sleep.
Because it does sound like a process. When we talk about insurance, it means that it may carry a hefty fine or so, but is this something that is perhaps a regime that you have to enter into, or a one-time thing? How do we go about the process of healing, so to speak?
Most often, if you have the symptoms, we refer you to a physician, obviously, to get a referral.
Right.
And once you get a referral, we'll be able to optimize your benefits to be able to access the care that you need. Provide for you a diagnostic test that you can do in the convenience of your home.
Okay.
Wireless allows us to record your oxygen levels, your heart rhythm, what stage of sleeps you're in, at the same time what positions you may be sleeping in that may be affecting your breathing, and overall have a better understanding of what potential risks may be there.
Okay. Mr. Arno, there are a couple sleep apps that I see coming up because, well, the conversation has been there. You know, we need more sleep with times now, depression, all those other things linking us to getting healthier one way or the other. How do you feel about those? How effective are those, or should we just go straight to the professional?
Well, you know, apps and these different types of commercial items like the Apple Watches and Fitbits are great tools, and I see you looking at yours.
I feel seen.
But they're not medical grade devices. Obviously,
Right.
to get medical attention, you need to seek the advice of someone who's qualified and understands the different issues related to, obviously, your symptoms, looking at your history and profile, and then providing the right medical necessity of treatment as we've been able to identify through true diagnostic testing.
I do appreciate that there is diagnostic testing because culturally we tend to dismiss a lot of things. And I am impressed to hear that we do have data to show that people are paying attention to it locally, so that you would say we're on the upswing of things of sorts.
Oh yeah, I would say it's been quite a journey. I've been here for about 10 years trying to preach this message like Noah, talking about the rain coming and letting people know that, hey, listen, this is a serious problem. It affected my family. It's affecting your family and a number of people here that you don't even realize.
Right.
And it's something that's pretty serious. So getting the overall support from a number of different participants here, like Courts and having Massey Stores and Lencel and all the different groups that have come together to support this effort. You know, so we're grateful once we've seen the needle kind of turning and
Nice.
people understanding that, you know what, I think I need to get a good night's sleep to have a better day.
Absolutely.
So
Highly recommended, guys. Despite my early hours, I do believe in a good sleep. And in that case, let's talk celebration. Because World Sleep Day is internationally recognized, that means there's some way, shape, or form of celebration. What are we doing today?
So today at 10 a.m., we're going to allow persons to come on board on a free webinar where we have a number of renowned speakers and researchers in sleep. And it's easy to register. You just go to our website at isdhealthsolutionswebinar.com, click on the link, jump on board. We'll have a number of prizes and things to give away. There'll be a lot of education and learning that will take place and awareness. And we'll all have a fun day enjoying the information that we're sharing with each other, and once again celebrating World Sleep Day together in the Caribbean.
Nice. Now, as much as you are going to continue research and continue to share the good news and information, if you need anybody to sleep and be tested, I'd like to volunteer.
No problem.
And I
I'll
want to
take
know
care of
if I want to know if you guys are ready for me, because I could take a nap now. But we're going to celebrate World Sleep Day, and we are going to visit the website isdhealthsolutions.com so that we can register for that webinar, get the info, and win some prizes as we continue to make sure that we take care of ourselves in all the facets as necessary. Mr. Arno, thank you very much for joining us this morning.
My pleasure.
Ironically, I'm wishing you a happy sleep day.
And you as well.
As we're wide awake. And I'm wondering, Carol, you came from Lupino this morning. How much sleep did you get?
Uh-oh.
I would say 3.5 hours for the most, I would say.
Wow. You're looking good, though, for 3.5 hours.
He's a good one. He's a trooper. He's been here all week long doing those early hours. And to the entire team that has been doing those early hours, we appreciate you as you continue to help us push through. It's Friday morning, though. We're celebrating World Sleep Day. We are celebrating our veterans when we come back. And we continue to make sure that you are ready for the weekend, thanks to the Now Morning Show. We'll be back.
All we want is, what them have for we.